Facebook wants to track your face and your eyes. How's it going, everybody? This is Dave LeClaire with MUO Tech Bytes, and I'm here to bring you the latest from the world of technology news. A lot has happened over the last 24 hours. Things have been really busy, so I'm not going to waste any time on this introduction, and I'm just going to go to the first story right now. Here's something I bet you didn't expect to hear today. The guy from MyPillow, you know who I'm talking about, Mike Lindell, wants to start his own social network. But it's not about pillows. It's just a regular old social network. I mean, if you want to start a social network about pillows, I could totally see it. But he wants to start just a generic old social network like any other one. He was banned from Twitter for repeated violations and insisting that Donald Trump won the 2020 election. And he has been since apparently working on his own social network, which is rather odd. I mean, I guess he does have some business cred. MyPillow has been quite successful. A lot of people really love those pillows and they seem to have sold quite well. So maybe he has the business acumen to start a social network. But does he really think he's going to dethrone the big dogs like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram? It seems rather unlikely to me. Sure, you may be able to start a pillow empire, but can you really start a social one? So here's what Mr. Lindell had to say about his new upcoming social network. All the influencers in this country will be able to go to and not worry about YouTube and actually be able to talk. We're launching this big platform so all the voices in our country can come back and start telling it like it is again. Lindell's basically pulling a page right out of Donald Trump's playbook here. Trump announced the same thing, that he and his people were working on a social network where everybody can come and be free to say whatever they want. And this is just another one of those. I don't know if it will succeed. I don't know if it will ever even happen. But it is certainly something I did not expect to wake up to on this fine Tuesday morning. The Oculus Quest 2 hasn't even been out for very long, and Facebook is apparently already working hard on the Oculus Quest 3 and the Oculus Quest 4, according to Mark Zuckerberg. So they are clearly all in on this virtual reality technology, specifically the portable, non-tethered virtual reality technology. So Zuckerberg actually talked about more realistic avatars that could be driven by your face and your eye movements, so that way you could be face-to-face with someone in virtual reality and have an actual conversation filled with facial expressions. I could raise my eyebrows and my Quest avatar would raise its eyebrows. I can make a frowny face and my avatar would theoretically make a frowny face. It sounds quite cool. It sounds like a way to interact with people who are not necessarily in the same real-life space as you, but with a more authentic type of experience. Because right now, obviously, the Quest, you can have an avatar, you can walk around. It's still pretty cool to be in a virtual world with a friend, but to actually have your facial reactions and your responses read like as if you were standing in front of them sounds quite interesting. Here's what Zuckerberg said in regards to how face and eye tracking could work in the next Quest. When I think about where you're at with VR today, you go into the experience. There are some pretty good games and different experiences, but I'd love to get to the point where you have realistic avatars of yourself where you can make real, authentic eye contact with someone and have real expressions that get reflected on your avatar. And that sounds quite promising, and hopefully it's something that actually makes its way into the virtual reality headset. As mentioned, Facebook is already working on a Quest 3 and a Quest 4, so we don't know if this technology will be implemented by the time the Quest 3 is ready, but we might see it in time for the Quest 4. We'll have to wait and see, but either way, it sounds like an exciting step forward for the world of virtual reality. If you're interested in a Pixel 5, but you don't want to spend the money on the full Pixel 5 phone, you might be in luck because it looks like the Pixel 5a is set to launch in June of this year. According to noted leaker John Prosser, the phone is set to launch on June 11th. That means you won't have to wait too long to get your hands on one of the Pixel 5a phones, as that is right around the corner, just a couple months away. Now, we saw leaked renders of the Pixel 5a already, and it looks remarkably like the Pixel 4a, which makes sense. That was a very popular phone. It would make sense for Google to not change things too much. And basically what it should be is a more affordable version of the Pixel 5 with some of the features scaled back slightly in order to make the phone a little bit cheaper. But the key of the A variants is they don't get rid of the things that make the phone great. So the Pixel 5 was an extremely well-received phone. It has all kinds of cool features, some of the best camera software you'll find anywhere. And it should still have that in the Pixel 5a, just might be on more scaled back hardware. Now, as mentioned, this is a leak. We don't know for sure that the phone will be launching on June 11th, but based on this leaker's reputation and the fact that he tends to get just about everything right, we're pretty confident in saying that we will probably see a Pixel 5a in June. It may not be on the 11th, it may be on the 9th, it may be on the 13th, but I'm fairly confident that we will be seeing this phone. That is about the time that Google tends to release the A variants of its phone, is right around June, so it would stand to reason that it's going to do the same for this one. And in our final story of the day, Insta360 has announced what might be the world's smallest yet still extremely capable action cam in the Insta360 GO 2. This thing is tiny. It weighs in at 27 grams, so you could literally stick this in your pocket and go somewhere without it weighing you down at all. I mean, granted, GoPros are not typically huge, but they do have a little bit of meat to them in terms of weight. This thing is like carrying around like a credit card. It's like nothing. I mean, well, that's an exaggeration. It's bigger than a credit card, I can assure you, but it is extremely light and extremely small. However, as small as it may be, that doesn't stop it from being packed with all kinds of features. It has 7 1440p recording modes, so basically anything that you could want to accomplish with this camera, you're going to be able to do it, and you're going to be able to do it at a high resolution. It also has support for ultra-wide capture, so you can get 120-degree field of view, which means you can record everything that's happening around you, then crop it if you need to later, or you can get the whole picture in, however it is that you want to do it. It still sounds like something that's going to be quite useful, especially if you're using this for its intended purpose, which is getting out there and doing action-packed stuff. It does have an ability to automatically upload your video to its companion application, which will then begin stitching your footage together to create your action shots, which is quite cool, though it's weird that it's not expandable, that there's no support for an SD card to make this memory bigger. 32 gigs, I don't know, that seems like not a lot of storage to me if you're recording really high resolution video. So the camera comes with a fairly small 210 mAh battery, which will get you about 30 minutes of 1440p recording, but there's also a case that'll get you about 150 minutes of recording. So you can record, put it back in the case, charge a little bit, record some more. You'll get a total of just over 2 hours. So the camera's actually set to launch today, March 9th, for $300. So if this all sounds like something that's up your alley, if you're looking for a really small action camera that's still pretty capable in terms of specs, this might be one that is worth considering. At $300, it seems reasonably priced, and you can get it right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you times 1 million for watching this episode of MUO Tech Bytes. It has been a joy to hang out with you today and report on the latest from the world of technological news. Make sure to share this video and like it and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.